Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video I thought I'd share my top makes or favorite makes of 2025. I know it's probably February, like when this video comes out, but I still thought that it's never too late to share my favorites from last year, and also maybe just to give you a better idea of my personal style. I would like to call this a top 10, but it's not actually a top 10. It it was impossible for me to choose 10 projects, so I have listed 11, but one of them is actually three totally separate projects, but they are kind of the same thing, but different patterns, different versions of the same thing. So I don't know. Let's call this just like my top makes, my favorite makes of the year. Just to sum up the year of 2025, like quickly, it was a bit of a tough year for me personally. I was finishing my studies at the university. I graduated. I moved to another city, so there was a lot going on. I have been making, I have been knitting, I have been crocheting, and I have been sewing a lot, trying to, I don't know, get my wardrobe into kind of the direction that feels like me. Because like for the past, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, or basically my whole adult life, I have been just like trying to figure out my personal style, and I don't think I'm alone on this journey. I think there are quite many of us who are still trying to figure out their personal style, and that is completely fine. And I think I have finally kind of found the basic elements, at least, found the patterns and cuts and everything that feel like me, that feel flattering on me, that make me feel pretty. I just thought I'd share my favorite makes, and just to wrap up the year that personally was quite tough, and I'm just hoping that this year is better, and so far it has been it has been better, and there are some very exciting things to come. But yeah, I will make another video about my plans and goals for this year, so let's not get into those in this one. But that's enough of yapping about the year itself. And let's get into these projects. So I decided I would share them in chronological order, because I just couldn't put them in order of least favorite to the absolute favorite. Oh, okay, I can point out the absolute favorite, but other than that, I really cannot choose, because like the projects are so different. We have knitting, we have crochet, we have sewing, we have mostly things for myself, but one thing for my partner. So it's really difficult to choose, because like some of these are very basic things, but they are on the list because I have worn them a lot. They have become like the staples of my wardrobe. And then there are some pieces that I haven't worn that much, but that are technically, or I don't know, they just are cool, amazing, I don't know. So yeah, it was impossible to put them in that kind of order, so I will start from the beginning of the year and ending in, I think I finished the last, I need to look, yeah, I finished the last piece on my list actually just at the end of the year, like was it 30th of December, I think. Let's get started. Okay, so the first piece I want to share is this beige, very basic cardigan that I made in January, and I have been wearing this a lot. So this is the Home Cardigan Lite by Caidree. I really don't know how to pronounce the name. Caidree? I don't know. Please don't hate me for not being able to pronounce it, but yeah, by Caidree, I think. And yeah, I just love the pattern. I just had to make it in a beige that would be just like a very basic stable cardigan in my wardrobe, and that has been like most definitely one of my most worn knits. I will insert a clip of me wearing this as well, so you get a better idea. But yeah, it has a v-neck and some buttons down the front, and the fit is very, very loose and oversized, and it has been just perfect like layering piece, especially in the winter, but I have worn this also in the spring, in the summer, in the autumn, so just all year around. It was really difficult to find the perfect tone of beige. Like, I wanted something really light and cool, not warm but cool. I ended up using Drops Merino Extra Fine in the colorway 50, number 50, which is light beige, and I'm really happy with the color. And the yarn, I think, has held up pretty nicely, considering this is already 1 year old. It has been worn a lot, like I said, so I think I should do some maintenance work just to take out the pilling that's happening, but it's normal. I just really love this cardigan. I don't know what else to say. And I found these cute little, or not so little, these are actually quite big buttons, but I found them at a local haberdashery back in Jyväskylä, where I lived a year ago. And yeah, I just think they fit the cardigan really nicely, but they are not just like the most basic buttons. They have something a bit extra going on. This is absolutely one of my favorite cardigans just to wear at home when I feel like I need a bit more layered outfit. But I have worn this to work. I have worn this basically everywhere. So yeah, that's why it definitely needed to be on this list, because it just is one of my most worn knits. Okay, and the next one is this jersey dress that I made, I think it was January or February of last year, but really at the beginning of the year. I found this fabric at the remnant bins of Eurokangas, so the fabric store chain, the biggest one in Finland. They have these really good remnant bins, and I have found a lot of stuff there, like you will see. But I found this really cute floral jersey knit, and I think I had it in my stash for something like 6 months, a year. I really cannot remember when I found this. This was, I think, one of the first fabrics that I ever found at the bins, and I had been thinking for a long time what to make with this, but then I found the perfect dress pattern, so this turned out to be a dress, a bit of a shorter one, like for my taste, but still yeah, one of my favorites, absolutely one of my favorites. And I have been thinking about making more jersey dresses to wear at work, because I like wearing dresses, but I really also like being comfortable. I feel like when you're teaching, you need to move around a lot. Sometimes you need to be sitting a lot, but then you need also to be moving around. So I just want to wear something comfy and wear outfits where I can move easily. So yes, this dress definitely has filled a gap. So the pattern is from a Finnish sewing and knitting and all kinds of crafts magazine, so Suuri Käsityö, and the magazine was 22, so the summer of 22. This has been, like I said, one of my favorite dresses to wear to work, and I am on the look or on the hunt for another nice, cute, maybe floral jersey fabric that I could make another version of this dress, because I think the fit is just perfect. Like the length, I really like. It is kind of fitted, but not too fitted. It's not like tight, and I modified the sleeves to be 3/4 length, because that's the length that I really like. And because it is more of a fitted look, I really easily can wear a vest or a cardigan on top of it, so it's really nice to have a dress that I can easily layer, because, you know, Finnish winters So yeah, that's why it definitely needed to be to be on this list. Oh boy, do I have a story about this? So this one is the Cora vest by Cucurucu Crochet. This is the vest. It's a crochet one, and it took me almost a year to make this. I took a long break because I was just like, okay, I cannot do this. Because, you know, all of these flowers, so you can see the flower pattern, they are all individual. Like you need to make every flower individually. The pattern is great. It gives you really great instructions on how to connect these flowers when you are already making them. So it's not like you need to piece them all together like at the very end. So no, you are given instructions to connect them as you go, but you need to cut the yarn after every flower. So that means quite a few ends to weave in. So yeah, I was doing that while crocheting, because I was like, okay, if I leave everything to the end, I'm never gonna finish this project. But it was a lot. It is a lot, and yeah, but it has to be on this list because it was a labor of love. I don't know, I just fell in love with the project right when I saw it. I was like, okay, I need to make it. I was on the hunt for the exact yarn that is used in the product photos or the pattern photos. I couldn't find it in the exact color, so I had to change the yarn to a bit of a thicker one. So I used Drops Muscat in the colorway Pistachio, so it's number 88. So it's thicker, so I had to modify the flowers, so they are actually only double crochet, not triple crochet as the pattern suggests, because those ones would have been too big, and it is kind of a thicker and a bit heavier, I think, than the original, but it worked out because it's really customizable, the pattern. You need to measure the flowers, then you need to measure yourself, and yeah, the pattern really does guide you through all of this. So I was able to make it out of a bit of a different yarn, but the color, because the color was the most important thing for me, to find the perfect shade of green, and this is the perfect shade. I really love it. It was totally worth making it because I think the fit is great and the style is so cute. I really love pairing this on top of so many things. But yeah, I have to say I wouldn't make it again. Like one of these is enough. I can't be bothered to go through the trouble of making another one, but I have zero regrets. Okay, so the next one I don't have here because it's on a hanger, but I will insert a clip of me wearing it. But yeah, this next project was it was a tough one, so I have to start from the beginning. So I found this very cute striped curtain at a thrift store, and I immediately thought that I need to make a skirt out of it, because it already had this gathered section at the bottom, and I was like, okay, this would make such a cute skirt. But then I just procrastinated on it for months, because I was like, okay, I only have this curtain. This is a unique, one-of-a-kind curtain, and I have a clear vision. And then slowly, as I thought about it, I was like, okay, what if I could make a matching top to go with the skirt? And the problem with this was that there was very limited amount of fabric to begin with. So it was just that one curtain, and yeah, I was not sure I could get a skirt and a top out of the curtain. And for a very long time, I also needed to think about the style of top. So yeah, I just had to search for different top patterns, test a few out, and then I finally landed on the Brené top by O's Patterns, which has this very pretty squared neckline. and I thought that would go really, really nicely with the stripes. And then for the skirt, I used this Sabina skirt by Little Pomegranate. At least when I got the pattern, it was a free pattern when you signed up for her newsletter, and this is one of my favorite skirt patterns. So this striped skirt was the fourth Sabina skirt that I made. So yeah, it is very, very beginner friendly. It was one of the first projects that I made, so I can highly recommend this pattern in general. But yeah, I wanted to use the pattern because it already had a gathered section at the bottom. Yeah, so it was a really, really stressing, but at the same time really, really rewarding project, because I had this vision and it turned out amazing, just amazing. I think even better than I imagined. I had to do a lot of figuring out with the amount of fabric that I was able to fit everything. So I had to make the skirt a bit shorter than in the pattern, but that I already knew. And then I needed to make the kind of the ruffles of the top at the back. I needed to kind of remake it, or like cut more of the fabric to make it, because there wasn't enough of the bottom of the curtain to fit everything on the bottom. So the skirt, both sides of the skirt and the front of the top are cut from the bottom, but the back is cut higher up, and then I needed to add the ruffle. And yeah, it was just so rewarding because there was just enough fabric. Like literally, I didn't have, like, I think I still have like a size, like this sized piece of fabric left, but that's all. Like I was able to use every centimeter of the fabric. And yeah, just to have the vision playing out even better than I imagined was so rewarding. And I really took my time with the pattern matching of the stripes at the both at the waistband of the skirt, although you really cannot see it because it's so gathered, but still the stripes are matching. I think I have a photo of the waistband before I put the elastic in, and then I just had to match the straps at the front, because I think details, they are small details, but they really, really do matter. And in my opinion, they just elevate the project, like take it to another level when you are able to take your time and match stripes or gingham or I don't know what. But when you are able to do that, that just, yeah, and it feels good to do that. You can just like, I don't know how to describe the feeling. Maybe some of you will get the feeling, but yeah. Unfortunately, I have worn this outfit only once, but yeah, I haven't been able to wear it that much, but I'm really, really determined to wear it out next summer as much as I can, because it's so cute. Like matching sets, I love them. I really, really love them, and I have plans for many, many more matching sets when I have the time to make them. Okay, we are getting closer to the halfway of this video. Oh my god, I cannot believe how much I have to say about these projects, but this next one is the star make of 2025 by far. Like none of these other projects even come close to this one. And it is this dress that I made for my graduation party last summer, and I'm just so proud of myself of pulling this off, like for reals, because I had this vision, I had the dream to make myself a really, really cute dress for my graduation party that was held just at my home, my childhood home, but still I wanted to wear something nice, something special, because it was 6 years of university behind me and a lot of hard work. So yeah, just wanted to make something special for myself. So I found both of these fabrics that I used, once again from Eurokangas remnant bins. I found the chiffon first. It was too cute to pass, so I just had to buy it. At the time, I wasn't sure what I was going to make with it. I was like, okay, I need to make some sort of a skirt or a dress or something, but I had never sewn with chiffon before, so I was like a bit nervous because I knew that it was a trickier fabric. But yeah, I was like, okay, I just have to buy this and see where it goes. And then I think it was last January, then I happened to find the satin. I think it's just a polyester satin, but still it was a very, very cute, lovely weight and drape. I just knew that it was perfect, that it would go perfectly with the chiffon, so I just had to buy it. I just started throwing around ideas like, okay, what style of dress I want, and then I stumbled upon Kiana Bonolo's patterns, and I just fell in love with 2 of them. So what I did, I ended up combining them. So I took the top part, so the sleeves and the bodice, from her flounce tier dress, and then the skirt patterns from her ruffle tier dress pattern, and it was just really easy to take those parts of the pattern and just put them together. So nothing challenging there, but I had to modify the bodice pattern quite a lot. So it took me, I think, month and a half and 4 versions of the bodice to make it fit, I think, almost perfectly. There were a few tiny things that I could have modified still, but I was like, okay, this is good enough at this point. But I had to do a full bust adjustment, shorten the straps. I wanted to bring the neckline a bit higher, and then I had to make the straps come a bit more inwards just to cover my bra straps. So yeah, there were quite many modifications I had to do. And because I adjusted the strap, I then also had to adjust the sleeve pattern to make it fit better. It was a learning curve, and I'm really happy that I did it, because the end result is just perfect. Like, I want to say it's perfect, even though of course it's not. I know that there are things that I could have done perfect, but with the time and the skills I had last year, I'm really happy. It was the first project where I used like fancier fabrics, so chiffon and satin. Although I had tested both types of fabrics in my kind of like trial rounds, I made something else just to try out how it is to sew with those fabrics. And in the end, I didn't have any trouble with the fabrics themselves. So that was really quite a relief, because I had read that they can be really tricky, but I didn't have any trouble. So I'm happy with that. I think I could go in like really in depth with this project, but I'm trying to keep it short. But if you are interested in more details, I could do a separate video or just answer your questions in the comment section, whatever. If you have something you would like to know about this project, don't hesitate to leave a comment down there. And then in the end, I sewed the final dress. I made it in 5 days, just before the party, because we were abroad just before the party, so we came back home, and I just dove right into it for 5 days when I was baking and cleaning up, and yeah, for the party itself. And then I sewed the dress. So it was a lot. It took many long nights, but it was so worth it. I loved making it. I think the pattern is really nice. It's really flattering on me. I just felt so good. First of all, about the fact that I was able to make something like that. I was able to make a dress where I just felt so good in. That felt like me, and yeah, that I just that I just love so much, and I'm really hoping I get another chance to wear this somewhere. But of course, because it's so white, it's a bit tricky to, but I'm hoping to find another party someday to wear this to. And of course there were some trouble. I will put a photo of the chiffon fabric, but I didn't notice when I bought it that it had quite a big kind of section where the flower print was totally off. It was missing, or it was a bit distorted. So that was kind of a not so nice surprise when I noticed it, and I just had to work my way around it. So I had enough of fabric, but I really had to play around with the pattern pieces, like where I cut them, to avoid that section. So yeah, that was I think an extra hurdle on the way, but I managed that as well. This just is the best project, and I think this will be one of the best projects that I will ever make. I hope not the best. I'm sure that I can improve and make something even cooler. Okay, so the next project that I want to share with you, this is the Thierry blouse by Kolibri by Johanna. And yeah, this pattern I had on my radar for a long while. I knew I had to make it. So this is just something that I just fell in love with and just had to make last summer. So I started knitting this while on the plane to go to Iceland last June. So my partner spent his last year of university in Iceland and I got to visit him in June when he was about to graduate there. So I went there, I spent 2 weeks there, and then we flew back to Finland together. And I needed something to knit on the trip, so I took 2 knits with 2 projects to start there, because I knew I had a lot of knitting time, because we actually rented a small van and drove around almost the whole island, which is one of the coolest things I've ever done. Like, I wish I could go back. It was amazing. So I had a lot of time sitting in the car and knitting. So this was one of the 2 projects that I took with me. And yeah, I just really like this pattern. I love the lace on the sleeves and the color. So this yarn is Tunline from Sandnes Garn, and the colorway is Kit, so it's 1015, and it's kind of this cooler of white, and I just love the colorway. And I had to make this blouse in that colorway, and yeah, it just turned out so pretty. I wore a few times during the summer because I finished this, I think it was somewhere around July, so like most of the summer was already gone when I finished this. So I'm sure this will get more wears this coming summer. So yeah, this I think just goes so well with many of my summer pants and skirts, and well, like most of the things in my wardrobe. So I'm really happy with this. And this just holds so many nice memories from our trip to Iceland. So that's also a reason why this project made it to this list. The next pattern that I put on the list is this. This just looks like black. It just is black, but these are my lane pants, my first, but definitely not the last pair of lane pants that I will be making. So yeah, they are a bit wrinkly. I just couldn't be bothered ironing them for this video, so sorry about that. I just love them. I totally get why these are one of the most popular, like wide-legged elastic waist pant patterns out there, because the fit is just amazing and there are so many options. These are just a very, very basic black pair, but I had been wanting to make a black pair of linen pants for many, many years, because I used to have a pair of black linen pants, but they got too small for me, and then I didn't find a new pair, like a ready to wear pair. So that when I found this fabric once again from the remnant bins of Eurokangas, I just knew I had to make myself some linen pants. I had to shorten the pants quite a bit, I think somewhere around 10 centimeters. But that's just my go-to modification with basically any pant pattern, because I am a bit short. Just had to shorten them, but other than that, the fit is great. I already have plans to make a few more, and yeah, just excited to make more of these. The next make that I want to share with you is this cute gingham skirt that I made in, I think it was in July. And yeah, I don't have the skirt here because it's on a hanger, but you will see it. Yeah, so this just turned out to be maybe my new favorite skirt, like ever, which was kind of a surprise because I was like going back and forth with this fabric for many, many weeks. So I found this fabric from Kassakirppu, which is kind of this Finnish online store, a place where you can find thrifted craft supplies, so mostly yarn and fabrics. I have bought a few fabrics and I have been really, really happy with what I've got. So yeah, when I saw this gingham, so it's kind of this lime green, so it is quite of a bright green and white small gingham fabric. I was like, okay, this is gingham, this is cute, this is very cute, but I was like, okay, is it too bright of a color for me? Because I usually lean towards more pastel colors, more muted ones, not so many bright colors in my closet. But then I just couldn't get it out of my head, and then I finally was like, okay, I need to buy it, and then decided to make a skirt, like just kind of a basic gathered skirt. I used the tutorial by Sid Graham on her YouTube channel, and it was a really, really great tutorial. I think the proportions of the tiers is just perfect for me. I just loved the tutorial, and the skirt turned out amazing. Just amazing. Like one of my, I don't know if I could say like even the favorite, like my new favorite skirt ever. That is quite of a title, but I just loved it so much. It just felt such a cute and, you know, I don't know, vibrant skirt to kind of brighten up the day, like summer. It's sunny, so to wear something so bright, for me, bright, just felt really, really good. Like definitely one of my favorite makes of 2025. So the next project I want to share with you is the last make of the summer. So I made this dress in, I think it was the end of August that I finished it. So yeah, it was my last summer make, and it was a project that I had been planning and thinking about for a long time, because since I found this magazine at a thrift store, I instantly fell in love with this dress, this viscose dress. I hope you can see it. Yeah, I just thought it was beautiful, and it had a lot of features that I thought would fit me really well. And then I found the perfect fabric for it as well, from this Finnish brand or website called Lumokankaat. I was like constantly thinking about it. I was like, yes, I need to make this dress. I found the perfect fabric, and it would look so good. But then last summer I was just like, okay, now I just need to do it. So I made a test version to be sure that the fit was right, the size was right, and yeah, they were. And then I finally cut into the fabric, and yeah, it turned out so good. Like, at that point I already kind of had figured out my personal style, or the core of my personal style. So I kind of knew that this project would fit right into my style and my preferences. But you never know until you finish a project and try it on if it actually is what you thought it would be. But this was, and yeah, I'm just overall so happy. Like I said, the fabric is perfect, the fit is great, you know, the cuts are great, the neckline is really nice. I really love a V-neck, but in this one it's not too deep. It is deep, like you can see that it's clearly a V, but it's not too deep, not too revealing. And then the shirring under the bust and at the back, I think they are such a nice detail. And yeah, there are some minor things I think I maybe could have and maybe should have sized up, just because the shirring kind of, especially at the back, it kind of pulls the fabric quite tight there. So I'm not sure, because I did the test version and it was great, but it was out of an old bed sheet, so it's very different type of fabric. So it's a thicker cotton, and this was really light viscose. So I think that the shirring in this final version is a lot kind of tighter, and that's why it's pulling a bit. So it's not something that will will stop me from wearing this dress. So yeah, I'm just really excited, and this is just kind of has to work as a reminder for myself as well, that I just need to make the projects, that I shouldn't overthink the projects. If I want to make it, if I have the fabric and everything, I should just make it. And sometimes you fail a bit, but then you can learn. Okay, so the second to last project I want to share with you is actually the only one on this list that I didn't make for myself. So I usually make quite a few projects for other people as well, and last year was no exception. Right after we moved in to this new apartment, I went to Eurokangas once again and had a look at their remnant bins and found this really nice, I think it's cotton flannel, and I immediately had to ask my partner, okay, would you like a pajama set, possibly a set out of this fabric? And he was like immediately like, yes, please. Then I started looking for a pattern, and once again I found a pattern from the Suuri Käsityö magazine, the last magazine of 2020, and there was this pajama set. And yeah, then once again it was a really tight fit with the fabric. Like, honestly, a really tight fit. I didn't have, like, I don't think I had like 1 centimeter extra with the length. I used all of the length to get the set, but I was so pleased. I was able to make the whole set, so the top and the bottoms, because they turned out so good. I'm really happy. And even though it was a really tight fit with the fabric, I was still able to pattern match the kind of the stripes at the front, so both of the top and the pants, because that's something, like I said before, that I just think make the project look way better if you are able to do that. And in this case, I was really stressed, honestly, stressed about it, because I think like if you get it like half a centimeter or a centimeter off, it looks a bit bad in my opinion. So this is just my opinion, but yeah, I was so relieved I was able to match them, because now they look really good. And as you can see from the clip, the fabric has started to peel a bit, and it's wrinkly because it's in use. It's currently in use. So that's something that I'm really, really happy about, that I was able to make this project. It looks great, and then it fits him really, really well. This was definitely a more challenging one because I hadn't made anything with buttons before. Actually, no. Yes, this was the first project where I had to make buttonholes, and I was so terrified of making them because buttonholes terrify me a bit. But they turned out great, and he really, really loves it. So yeah, I'm just so happy with the project. Okay, and then it's finally time to get to the bottom of the list, and this is actually where I have 3 projects instead of 1, because they are all under the same category. But yeah, so my collection of balaclavas or bonnets or hoods or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, at the end of the year I made 3 because I didn't have any. I have a lot of beanies and hats that I've made for myself in the past years, and I feel like my collection is now complete. Like, I really don't need anymore. I don't have the opportunities to wear them. I have them in enough of different colors and styles and everything, so I don't need any more. But then I was like, okay, I don't have any balaclavas, so here we are. I need to start from the bottom, actually, if we go chronologically. So first I made this Lilli bonnet by Knitters and Friends, and yeah, I just fell in love with this right when I saw the photos with the cute little bow at the front. I was like, okay, I have to make this. And most of my winter jackets are actually dark green, so I was like, okay, actually pink would go, or light pink would go really, really nicely with my jacket. So that's what I decided to make. So I used Filcolana Arvetta in the color 318, so ballerina, double stranded there, and then 1 strand of Filcolana Tilia in the color Sakura 321. So yeah, I think this turned out almost the perfect shade of, I don't know, of light pink. And once I made this, I was like, okay, I really need to make more, because like they were so, like, this was so useful. Here there are many, like, often pretty windy days, so I really need to cover up my ears. But then when you, for example, go around the center, you go into shops and stuff, so you need to take it off. So with this kind of hood, it's so much more easier than with a beanie, for example, because you can just pull it off. So after that, I was like, okay, I need to make the Sophie hood. I know it's really popular and I get it. I made it in this white version. It's not exactly white, it's the color kit, once again from Sannes Garn. So, and the yarn is the alpaca wool. I had to make myself a white one because I thought that's such a basic and a classic that will go with everything. And that's correct. I have worn this a lot as well, especially in December. I'm just really, really happy. This is a bit different, so I made the size M, and I really like because this has the kind of the scarf portion, a bigger scarf portion that really, really protects your neck better. So this was handy when the temperatures dropped a bit. And then finally I had to make a 3rd one, of course, but this was kind of like a happy, I cannot say accident, because I actually, for the first time ever, I won in an Instagram giveaway. This time that I won the pattern and the yarn for this Aurora Balaclava by Somaknits. I got to choose the color of the yarn, and I ended up, so the yarn is Knitting for Olives Heavy Merino, and I ended up with the color Marzipan because I had been thinking about making a beige balaclava or hood to add to my collection. So yeah, and I'm really happy with this pattern as well, because this kind of the shape of it is pretty similar to the Lilli bonnet, but it's a bit bigger, it's a bit deeper, and I actually modified it to be a bit smaller, so not so deep. And I really like the cables. It makes it a bit different. And yeah, I'm overall really happy with this one as well. I finished this just before New Year's. So yeah, I'm really happy with my collection, and I'm already planning on maybe adding a fourth one at some point. Not now, but at some point, maybe if I feel like it. I don't know what color it could be, maybe light blue or some burgundy red would be nice. I don't know, we shall see. But yeah, I had to include all three of them because I just couldn't choose one, because they are all different. They all have their advantages or some parts that I really, really like about them. So it's impossible for me to pick a favorite from these three. So I had to include all of them. I'm really looking forward to getting to wear these again when the spring starts arriving here. So that was it. Those were my top makes of 2025, and whew, I feel like I have been talking so much. I apparently had a lot to say about these projects. I think that making this video was so much fun for me because I got to look back to everything that I made and kind of try to pick my favorites. Filming this video like showed me like why I wanted to start this channel in the first place, just to get to share my passion and my inspirations and everything, and just like to have someone to talk to in length about these things. I really, really hope you enjoyed this. Maybe you found some inspiration or new ideas or something. It was really a lot of fun to make this video, and soon-ish I'm trying to come back with a video about my goals and plans for the next year, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, it would mean a lot to me if you could subscribe and like this video, and if you have anything you would like to share about your best makes or favorite makes of 2025, please go and do so in the comment section. I cannot wait to read your comments. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!